You ever have one of those shifts where you are just doggy paddling all day, your head barely above water, you're running around like a headless chicken, yet you can't catch up, and your day just goes from bad to worse? Well, that is the exact type of shift that I was having. And at the end of a shift like that, when you clock out, you don't just leave it all behind, do you? You tend to take it with you. So I knew at the end of that shift that I needed a sort of cathartic release. So I called up one of my girlfriends that's an NP. No answer. I called up another girlfriend that's a nurse manager. Of course, no answer. So I get home, and the only person to speak with, other than my dog, was my husband. So I proceeded to dump it all on him. And I do mean dump. And at the end of it, he looks at me and he says, "Okay, what are you going to do about it?" You know how sometimes someone may say something, and it's not that they're the problem per se, but that they are triggering the problem or irritating the problem. Well, that's exactly what that did for me. So I said, what am I supposed to do about the high patient acuity level, or our nurse to patient ratio, or management? And he looked at me again and he said, "Okay, you're frustrated, you're anxious, you can't sleep at night, you. No one is coming to rescue you. It's your life, so yes, what are you going to do about it?" The second time he said that, it hit me, because I realized that by choosing to focus on those things that I thought was well outside of my control, it was keeping me in this fixed mindset, or a closed and trapped mindset, where there was no possibility of change. There was no light at the end of that tunnel. I realized I had to shift my focus and my perspective to the things that was within my control, because that is where our power lies. Welcome to Beyond Burnout. My name is Shauntel. I am a 10-year registered nurse, as well as a health and burnout coach, and the founder of chartlife.com. That's Life with a Y, where we cater to all things health professionals. Beyond Burnout is a workshop that was born from my real life experience with tackling systemic as well as personal contributors of burnout. This course is designed to help empower you to get your life back and rediscover your passion. It is also accredited with 2 nursing continued education credit hours through Debriefing the Frontlines, and packed with lots of PDF templates to help you succeed. So let's get started. Let's discuss systemic contributors of burnout. This is something that isn't discussed hardly enough, right? So we said before that burnout isn't just a self-care issue. Recently, I went to a Nurse 5K event hosted by Rekindled Nurse, a wonderful organization that caters to nurses also. And it was just so beautiful to see the entire community come together and support nurses. Their biggest sponsor for the event was a hospital, and second behind them was a church. So that just shows you that it isn't just about self-care. It's also about community care. It's about corporate care, and it is about systemic care. It is going to take an effort on all our parts to come together and really address this. However, we do know that burnout in healthcare is deeply rooted to systemic issues. Research shows that when there is a relentless focus on corporate profits and the bottom line, it tends to overshadow the workers' well-being. And when corporate-driven approaches prioritize efficiency and cost-cutting, it is usually at the expense of workers' mental and physical health. Have you ever gone to work and looked at the schedule, saw that you were fully staffed, and thought, yes, it is going to be a great day, only to hear your charge nurse or nurse leader say, we've got to send someone home, right? So the pressure to meet those financial targets can result in things like understaffing, unrealistic workloads, and a lack of adequate support. And all of those are directly linked to burnout. When I first started my nursing journey, I started on an oncology unit, but we also took all end-of-life care as well as fetal demise. Yeah, it was pretty rough. Then our hospital decided that they wanted to add a psych wing on one of our hallways. So we ended up having a mix of oncology, fetal demise, end-of-life care, as well as psych. Not what any of us signed up for. It eventually began to take a toll on us. Mentally, emotionally, physically, there was a lot of violent incidents. There was an increase in critical incidents. And so we decided to take charge. The staff and I started to document everything. I mean, the good, the bad, and the very ugly. And we took a proposal to our manager, who was very receptive. And guess what happened? We received de-escalation training. We received security guards on our unit. And we also received a lot of supportive resources that were specific to psych, all of which we really needed. So this template was designed from real life experience on how to make change, systemic change, when you are dealing with different issues in healthcare. So let's take a look at that. And you will find this template in your packet with a lot more details, okay?